Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Well, I'm Wendy. Nice to meet y'all. I'm going to kind of pan around and say hi to everyone. So that kind of shows y'all how the doctors are able to manipulate the camera, and they can move the camera completely to the left, right side. I think I've kind of panned that side. Then it goes completely this way as well. Then I'll pick someone out in a minute, and I'll see who I can maybe focus. Look, everybody's like I'm running away.
She volunteers.
So if one of y'all will flip your badges around, I want to just kind of show y'all how the camera will zoom in and zoom out. Just so whenever, say you were, the doctor was going to look at the patient's eyes, people, something like that, where you're like, how are they going to see that? Well, I'm being a crazy driver. These cameras are real touchy. Y'all also have a remote that's in the second drawer that you can help the doctor with the camera as well if they ever lose their camera controls for some reason. There's a blur on your badge. I can't read it, but oh, Angie. Hi, Angie.
Where's the? I don't see a remote.
I just kind of wanted to show y'all how close those cameras get, so that if they were needing to look at fine small things, that they're able to zoom in and actually see those. So, have y'all had a good morning?
We did so far.
Is everybody here? Are you ready for me to go ahead and do
Yes.
the screen share? I know y'all are busy. Okay, all right. I'm going to go ahead and not waste any more of y'all's time. Share my screen. Let me move a few things so I can get to my slides. Alrighty. Okay, now, are y'all able to see the screen that says Welcome to Access Physicians? Okay, good deal. Welcome. We are so excited for y'all. Y'all are going to be having the tele neurology program coverage starting September 23rd, 2020. We're going to go over some of the processes and procedures. It will be for acute stroke coverage, which will be 24/7. Your general neurology consults will be 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And your emergent EEGs will be 24/7. Your routine EEG interpretations will be 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Neurology diagnoses that we typically assist in managing include ischemic stroke, hemorrhagic stroke, TIA, seizure disorders, polyneuropathies, Parkinson's disease, dementia, transient global amnesia, migraine and cluster headaches, neuromuscular diseases, and vertigo. Just as a reminder, since we are strictly a consultative service, we do not provide the following: completion of death certificates, completion of discharge summaries, completion of initial H&Ps, serve as an admitting or attending provider for a patient, or routinely attend code blue or RRT calls. This is an example of what an initial consult of high-level workflow would be. Patient would be identified. Then you need to reference the monthly on-call schedule. Call the on-call physician utilizing the number listed on the schedule. Let the physician know which facility you're calling from and give details on the request for the consult. The physician will work with the team to identify a time they will be ready to do the consult. The team will need to make sure the cart is in the patient's room and ready when the physician comes on the screen. The provider will run the encounter and document directly into the EMR. The high-level workflow rounding will be the AP physician will review the census of the hospital each morning to determine who needs to be rounded on. And then the AP physician will work with the team to determine the time to do the rounding. These are some examples of when you need to call that backup physician. At all times, whenever we have our staff on staff with y'all, there's always two providers that are actually listed for that day. So we have the primary listed neurologist, then we'll have a backup physician. So that number, if you ever need that backup neurologist, is 866-922-5527. So if it's an emergent situation, you've called your primary listed neurologist for that day, and it's an RRT or code blue, some urgent situation like that, don't hesitate and wait any time. Go ahead and call that backup physician at that time. If it's urgent, such as a change in condition or a new complaint, give that primary listed neurologist 15 minutes. If they are still unable to call you back at that time, then go ahead and call the backup physician. If it's a routine thing, such as a medication request or a family has a question, let's give that primary listed neurologist an hour. If he is still unable to contact you back at that time, then go ahead and call your backup physician. That number again is 866-922-5527. Now what we're gonna cover now is what is telemedicine, running a telemedicine encounter, troubleshooting, and support. Things to know about telemedicine. How does telemedicine work? The patient presenter brings the telemedicine cart, which is a big screen where the patient will see the doctor. The doctor can hear and see the patient and will talk to the patient just as if the doctor were there in person. The nurse is in the room the whole time and may help the doctor examine the patient. Is this private? Yes. The only people that can see each other are the patient and the doctor. No one else is watching, and no personal health information is ever stored on the cart. Is this being recorded? Absolutely not. Meeting the doctor happens in real time and no video is stored. All right, so these are a few things that you're going to want to locate on your cart. In your top drawer, you're going to have your keyboard to the left-hand side. Your trackpad, which is your mouse, would be on your right-hand side. It's a square, white, flat surface. In your second drawer, you're going to have your stethoscope, and you're also going to have your booklet. I kind of refer to that booklet as your Bible. You can always refer back to that of any of the things we've gone over today, and say such things as maybe your audio options. You don't remember exactly what it's supposed to be. Those little notes and quick reference tools will be in there.
There's no booklet.
Number one.
Oh, well.
Do what?
There's no booklet.
There's no booklet in your cart. Okay, let me make note of that, and we'll make sure that you have.
So,
There's tools.
It's not a little spiral. That's all you got.
Side?
Okay.
Is it the thing on the side?
Oh,
Nick,
found it.
don't go with
Oh,
it.
never mind.
Is this the booklet that you're looking for?
Yes, that's it.
Oh, never mind, we lied.
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah.
The night shift
Okay.
person is more awake than the day shift.
You need to buy them. Those are great tools. Anybody can
The
look
tools,
at.
why are
Just
the
been
tools
looking
there?
at the card.
That's why you got the.
Sorry.
That's
I
why.
was trying to
Okay, good. I'm
multitask.
glad y'all have
I
it.
guess it doesn't work. that
Okay,
way.
number one, we're gonna call the provider. We're gonna call the doctor if something clinically relevant happens, just like you normally would if they were there in person. Number two, you're gonna wait for that provider to appear on the screen. They will appear via Zoom. There's no need to turn on the cart or answer the session on your end. The doctor will automatically log on just like I did a minute ago. So as long as you've got that cart plugged in and your home screen is there, you're good to go. Also, waiting for the doctor to appear outside the patient's room will ensure the cart is working appropriately, as well as the patient associating the cart with their provider, not just some technical equipment. Number three, we want to move the cart to the patient's room. Upon entering the patient's room, you want to introduce yourself as well as the physician to the patient. Make aware to the physician of any additional attendees in the room, such as the patient's family or friends that may be present, so that they're able to address them as well. Make sure that they don't have any questions or anything before they log off. Number four, on your cart placement. Depending on the layout of your room, place the cart at the foot of the bed, either the left or the right side. Make sure that the patient is able to see the provider and that you're able to maneuver any equipment needed for the exam. A couple of things that I always look for whenever I enter that patient's room is, number one, I always look, okay, where's my closest outlet? So that kind of determines on my placement on the left or the foot of the bed. Also, you want to make sure that your distance isn't so far away from the patient's bed that you're not able to maneuver your stethoscope, because your cord length is only so long for that stethoscope. So just make sure that you get close enough for the cord length of your stethoscope. Number five, you want to plug your cart in. It will beep and remind you. So just whenever you're all situated and have your cart placed in the patient's room, just plug it into the most convenient outlet.
Okay,
Number
like
six, this is an explanation of what you might say to a patient's family or the patient themselves. Hello, I have someone here you're probably not used to seeing. This device allows our covering neurologists to see, hear, and evaluate your loved one right alongside their nurse. It's like having an expert neurologist in your room. This works similar to Skype or FaceTime, but is much higher tech. Our goal is to provide immediate expert care to your loved one. This visit with the doctor is not recorded, and the device operates over a secure connection to protect your privacy. Number seven, then you want to make sure that you turn on all the lights in the patient's room and close all the shades. Natural light can backlight the patient, making it harder for the physician to see them. Number eight, whenever the doctor prompts you for that stethoscope exam, you're going to take that stethoscope out of the bottom drawer. To activate your stethoscope, you'll notice on your bottom toolbar, you have a microphone option. There's a toggle option, or it looks kind of like a little rooftop. And then there's a video option, and then there's another toggle. You're gonna, in between the microphone and the video, you're gonna hover over the toggle option that looks like a little rooftop and firmly click down on your trackpad. Then this window will pop up. You'll notice there'll be a check mark beside built-in microphone, internal microphone, whenever your computer audio, whenever all the audio is going through your computer, just like it is right now. Whenever you want to change it over to the stethoscope, that is the PCP USB. So whenever you want to change to the stethoscope mode, you will hover over the PCP USB, firmly click on that trackpad, then you'll notice your check mark will move to the PCP USB. Kind of give you a little reference because your audio on your end, it won't change at all, so you won't notice if it's actually switched over appropriately. That's why you can always look back at that check mark is moved and you'll see it beside the PCP USB stethoscope mode. Next, we want to make sure that we make direct skin-to-skin contact. For the physician to hear clearly, make sure you go skin to skin, no over the gown close. And the doctor will prompt you and tell you when and where to move the stethoscope to, because like I said before, you can't hear what they hear on their end. The audio only changes on the provider's end. Also, majority of the time, the doctors are wearing either headphones or some earbuds. So make sure you refrain from cleaning the stethoscope. Try not to bump it, drop it, anything like that whenever it's in stethoscope mode, because you could actually damage their hearing. One thing I try to do is whenever I'm getting ready for that stethoscopic exam, I'll go ahead and just, before I change my audio over, I'll get the stethoscope and just hold it gently in the palm of my hand. Then I'll change my audio over so I'm not bumping the stethoscope in the metal drawer after I've already got it in stethoscope mode. Whenever the doctor lets you know that they have completed the stethoscope part of the exam, what you'll do to change your audio back over, you just hover over your toggle option in between your microphone and your video, firmly click down on your trackpad. Your window will come back open. You'll hover over the built-in microphone, firmly click down on your trackpad, and then your audio function your check mark will move back to your built-in microphone, internal microphone, which is your computer audio. Next, your doctor does have camera controls on their end, and they're able to manipulate their camera like I showed you in the beginning. But if for some reason they ever do lose their camera controls, you do have a remote that's in your bottom drawer. You can always assist them with that. Please don't ever try to grab and manually move that camera because it could actually damage or break that camera.
In there?
So you'll notice on that remote, in the middle of the remote, there's an up, down, side arrows. That moves the camera, of course, up, down, to the left, to the right side. And then there's also a slow zoom and a fast zoom that's to the left-hand side of that remote. I think it's a T and W. And then you can actually help them move that camera if needed. Is it not working?
Oh, you want us to
try?
Oh, I thought you grabbed it, sorry. You don't have to try it at all. We can try all that in a minute. I just thought you did, and I was like, okay, yep, it works. I wanted to make sure the batteries are in it. Okay, perfect. Number 9. And then number 9, we want to sanitize the keyboard, the mouse, and the stethoscope if used during the exam and before storing the cart. And also make sure with those C. diff patients use bleach wipes to clean and disinfect the peripheral or any part of the cart except for the computer. Repetitive cleaning with those wipes could actually damage the camera, so you'll need to refer to your hospital policy on proper cleaning and sanitizing of the screen. Number 10, return your cart to its storage location in your facility and always plug it in. Make sure whenever you have it plugged in, if you walk by it and you see that you've got this home screen, it's white and it says access physicians with the IT call number and you have your Zoom up, you're good to go. If you ever walk by and you notice, oh my, the screen's black, that's not good. You need to call IT immediately. That means something's wrong. Always just make sure that it's plugged in. You can see that home screen and you are good to go. Number 11, majority of the time, all of your sessions are going to auto log off. If for some reason it does not, in the bottom right-hand corner, there is an option in red that says leave meeting. All you have to do is click that and then it will end your session. Next, these are a few of our IT guys. They're amazing. They're available 24/7. They're there to help you, so don't ever hesitate to call them. The number is 866-922-5527. If you ever walk by and you notice that that cart does not look right, don't worry about bothering them. Please call them. That's what they're there for. If there ever is a situation where your computer does not work or your Wi-Fi is down, the backup method for the computer or the cart, you manually flip the cart around. There's an iPad that's located on the back of the cart. To activate that iPad, you press the home button and then you click your Zoom icon and that activates your iPad on your cart and your doctor just calls in on a different line.
It's not a hot
And
spot.
that's it. What do y'all think?
Stealing it.
Looks good.
Cool.
What's the battery life on the cart?
The battery life is approximately 1 hour.
Okay.
We recommend that you utilize that battery for whenever you're actually moving the cart through the facility. We recommend that as soon as you get situated in your patient's room, that you go ahead and plug that cart in at that time. Because we don't ever want to give it a chance to be able to, the battery to be able to die. So, yes, we recommend that you plug it in immediately. And it will beep and it will drive you crazy. You'll want to plug it in. And there also is a little banner whenever it's unplugged that comes across the provider's face, so that kind of blocks their face as well. So it's just that secondary reminder.
Great.
Okay, who wants to test out the stethoscope? Anybody want to try?
Let's test the
I
stethoscope.
wonder if use that in neuro.
Probably
Can't imagine
You would change the.
Oh, I have to change stuff. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
You want me to?
I just want y'all to see what the trackpad actually feels like, because that's the biggest thing. Some people have never used Apple products, and if you haven't, sometimes just the feel of that trackpad's a little different. So you'll go to your bottom toolbar. There you go. Did it! Awesome.
That's not where my heart is.
This is your
Yeah,
aortic
you got it.
valve.
Awesome.
This is your pulmonic valve.
Oh, Sally.
You
There you go. Yeah, I mean, you can hear it. I can tell you switched over the audio great.
See, too bad that we can't hear it ourselves, huh? Okay, good.
I know y'all can hear it too. And then just switch it back over and you just. Awesome, you did it.
Good, all
Good
right.
job. Very good.
I think that's the part that we just need to probably remember.
And if ever, if you're like, I don't remember what to do, just refer back to your booklet. It has those little tools in there for you
Yeah,
to
but
do.
it's in here.
Little reminders.
Is it? It's in there too?
This one is in there.
You just hover over your toggle option in between your mute and your video. It'll bring up your window. Your check mark will be beside which option that it's selected on. Your internal microphone is your computer audio, just like we are right now. Your PCP USB is your stethoscope. Those are the only two options you ever need to mess with.
Is there a volume control? I'm sorry, is there a volume?
What?
A volume control? Is there a volume on this?
So they're preset into the system.
So
So
we gotta
if you
adjust it.
ever
Okay.
needed to manipulate that, you can reach out to IT. I mean, there are some F functions that you can change the audio, or there should be like the top of your computer, is there an audio on the left-hand side? Or the right-hand side?
Which is for like patients that are hard of hearing may need it up a notch, I don't know.
So
Yeah,
we can,
there's maybe if you go into those buttons here.
Yeah, usually there's a volume
I'm
that's on the
curious.
right-hand side at the top.
I would think there'd be a way to adjust. I would think there'd be a way to adjust the
Because if someone's hard of hearing, they may not be able to hear.
Mm,
There's the screen settings, but not.
gallery view,
No,
exit full screen.
Those are just.
it'd probably be on just your main computer. Yeah, maybe if you didn't
Yeah,
have the
because
full
I think
screen.
I'm sharing with you, that's why I cannot see my setup. I think earlier I saw something there.
So if you're on the without being on with me,
Yeah.
or if you can adjust, like I think it's F9. I
Mhm.
think if you F9, I think that lets your audio go up.
Oh, I
heard
hear
something.
something, yep. See? Yeah, you heard something. Yeah, F9.
I don't know if it went up
Yeah,
or
when I
down.
did, yeah, okay. Yeah, once you get off, I think it's over on this
Okay.
side that I saw it
Okay.
before.
Okay. Now, if you need me to clarify that for you, I can.
Probably.
Typically, all the settings are preset,
Mm-hmm.
but I understand what you're saying too, because sometimes it is.
Yeah, our patient population is elderly and a lot of them are very hard of hearing.
Yes, and it may be F10, F11.
Mhm.
See if you did F10, and you may have to do.
oh, I turned it down.
Let me see if I can ask